My beloved child, listen to me with great attentiveness, for this moment is unlike any moment before it. This is the moment I awaken your soul, not with thunder, but with a call strong enough to pierce through the weariness you have been trying to hide. There are movements unfolding in the spiritual realm that natural eyes cannot see, but my spirit sees them with perfect clarity. And I, as your father, will not allow you to step into a new season in a state of spiritual drowsiness. You were not called to be swept away by chaos. You were called to stand firm in the midst of it. I do not come to frighten you. I come to open your eyes. This is not a warning because danger is winning. This is a marking because you are being pulled into a deeper layer of responsibility and awakening. And I speak decisively. It is time for you to wake up. You do not realize it, but a wave of pressure has been quietly forming around your life. Not pressure meant to break you, but pressure meant to test how steady your inner foundation truly is. I see the hidden currents, those seemingly harmless invitations, those emotions that appear natural, those choices that seem simple. Yet all of them are flowing beneath your feet like a subtle stream trying to shift your heart by only a few degrees. A few degrees today may become a diversion of an entire path months from now. That is why I am not silent. I call you back. Place my hand on your shoulder and say, do not ignore the small signals. It is not the great storm that causes most people to fall. It is the quiet water that runs long enough unchallenged. And I love you too much to let you be carried away by currents you have not yet recognized. Have you noticed recently your mind becomes unsettled more easily than usual? Thoughts that once felt light suddenly feel heavy. Small things now stir large emotions. Situations you once dismissed now disrupt your peace. This is not because you are becoming weaker. This is the sign I give you that an unseen movement is touching the edges of your soul. I do not blame you for feeling tired, but I do not want you facing everything through emotion alone. I want you to perceive with discernment. These fluctuations do not come to knock you down. They come to reveal which parts of you are not yet anchored in me. You are not being attacked to be destroyed. You are being illuminated to be fortified. There is something I must speak with absolute clarity. Temptation in this season will not appear in ugly forms. It will come disguised as reasonable, comfortable, momentarily soothing. It will not arrive like a devil holding a spear. It will come as a whisper saying, "It's fine, just a little." I see the layers of false blessing trying to cloak choices that do not come from me. You will hear invitations that are not evil, but lack peace. You will see doors that appear favorable, but your spirit does not brighten with them. You will sense directions that seem logical, but carry none of my fingerprints. I want you to be alert, not because you are weak, but because you are stepping into new territory. And new territory always tests the one who is about to be elevated. I call you into a life of spiritual awareness, not so you live tense, but so you learn to see, hear, and feel with the inner being I created in you. Awakening is not the fear of making mistakes. Awakening is knowing which voice is mine and which voice is pulling you off center. Awakening is not chasing signs. Awakening is being sensitive to my breath. I am teaching you to live from a state where even the slightest disturbance in your heart makes you say, "This is not from my Father." You do not need long explanations. The discernment I am building in you will become a holy compass, guiding you away from 10 wrong paths with one simple sense of caution. And this is how I protect you. But alongside awakening, I am calling you into discipline. Discipline is not force. Discipline is the fence that protects what is precious within you. You cannot allow your emotions to lead you, because emotions in this season can easily be pulled. You cannot allow others' words to distort your inner vision. You cannot allow temporary comfort to erode the foundation I spent years building in you. I do not speak this to pressure you. I speak it because you are about to step into a place that requires a stronger version of you than yesterday. And I know you can. Not because you are strong on your own, but because I am reinforcing layers within your soul that even you have not noticed yet. Let me make one thing very clear. Not every shaking comes to destroy. You are entering a season in which shaking will happen. But shaking in my hands is meant to break false foundations and strengthen true ones. I do not want your life resting on soft ground. I want it resting on rock. Some areas of your life may tremble. Some relationships will reveal their true nature. Some habits will lose their grip on you. But do not fear. Every shaking I allow is directed toward building the endurance I need within you. You are not losing. You are being shaped. And my child, everything I speak today is not to burden you. I do not come so you panic. I come to mark you. To mark that you are being held. To mark that you are being awakened. To mark that you are being moved into a new level of discernment and inner strength. You are stepping into a season of building legacy. Spiritual legacy, legacy of love, legacy of endurance. And to build you must be awake. Awake to see, awake to hear, awake to not lose what I have sown. Awake to stand firm through the shaking that is coming. Awake to become the person I wrote into existence before the foundations of time. My child, now I am not only awakening you, I am beginning to train you. For awakening without strategy still leaves you vulnerable to being pulled off course. I see the directions from which the attacks come, not from the front, but from the sides where you least expect them. Many temptations in the season are not obvious sins. They are forms of ease, disguised as harmless, a message that steals your focus, a feeling resurfacing from the past, a compliment that softens your resolve, an opportunity that tempts you away from discipline. These things are quiet, but they are deeply strategic. You must not underestimate their smallness. The enemy does not destroy with something large at first. It destroys with something small but consistent. I need you to look more deeply at what seems harmless, because in my hands those moments become lessons that shape both your mind and your heart. I want you to understand this discipline is not a shackle. It is armor. Armor does not decorate, it protects. You do not need to appear strong to people. You need to be strong from within. Discipline in your words will keep you out of conversations that drain your spirit. Discipline in your thoughts will help you discern what is the wind of my spirit and what is merely the noise of passing emotion. Discipline in your habits will keep your soul from falling back into old cycles. Discipline in your relationships will guard you from influences that pull you off the path I set for you. I'm not calling you to live rigidly. I'm calling you to live with boundaries. Boundaries do not limit freedom. Boundaries protect the harvest from being devoured. In this season, I need you to learn the skill that few choose to learn, stopping at the right moment. The enemy does not always attack by pushing you backward. Sometimes it attacks by pushing you forward into something I have not yet called you to. An opportunity is not always from me. An invitation is not always heaven's timing. A door that opens is not always the right door. I am teaching you the skill of one breath slower so you can discern. If something is from me, it will anchor peace within you. If it is not, no matter how beautiful it seems, your spirit will feel one beat of rhythm. That is the inner compass I placed inside your soul. You must not ignore that signal. It is the cord that keeps you from stepping even 1 inch off a path that would cost you an entire season. I also need you to stay alert to the voices outside you. Not every piece of advice is wise. Not every word of encouragement is aligned. Not every go ahead is my voice. You must learn to filter. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Some words will make you feel lighter, but lead you astray. Some words will make you feel uncomfortable, but anchor you rightly. Some words will soothe you for a moment, but dull your inner sharpness. I want you to take responsibility for the doorway of your ears. The ear is the gate of the soul. Whoever you let in has influence over your perspective. Therefore, I say, do not let your ears become unguarded gates. You must know who is allowed to speak into your life, who is allowed only to be heard politely, and who must be closed out entirely. There is another strategy I want to give you. Keep peace as a weapon. Peace is not a passive feeling. It is a spiritual force. When you keep peace, the noise around you cannot determine your direction. When you lose peace, you will start chasing things you were never meant to notice. Peace is the evidence that you are standing in the right orbit. The loss of peace is the sign you are being pulled away from center. So each morning when you wake, before doing anything else, check the temperature of peace in your soul. If it is low, you must not rush into your day by your own strength. You must return into me first. Peace is the shield that blocks hundreds of invisible arrows you never knew were aimed at you. Remember, you are not merely called to stand firm. You are called to build legacy. Legacy is not built from grand moments, but from small, steadfast choices. Steadfast in the way you guard your discipline. Steadfast in your refusal to compromise. Steadfast in how you refuse to follow noise. Steadfast in how you prioritize my presence, even when your heart feels busy. Legacy is not born in a single gathering. It is born in the hundreds of quiet choices you make when no one is watching. And I am watching each one, not to judge you, but to prepare you for the place of true influence I am raising you into. And you must also know this, the tests that come in this season are not here to break your calling. They are here to validate it. A bridge is only certified after it bears weight. A warrior is only crowned after the proving. Someone who carries legacy does not enter without inner strength. I allow shaking not because you are weak, but so you can discover where you are strong and where I am reinforcing you. Without testing, no promotion. Without pressure, no expansion. Without resistance, no spiritual muscle. Every experience in this season, no matter how difficult, is deepening your roots so you can stand where others would fall. And my child, when I train you, I do not stand far away giving orders. I stand beside you, working with you, supporting you, teaching you through every small detail. I do not throw you into a battlefield and abandon you. I go ahead to open the way. I walk beside you to steady your steps. And I stand behind you to guard your back. My training is not to turn you into a machine built for war. My training is to shape you into someone who knows how to live with the right direction, the right rhythm, and the right spirit. And when you grasp these strategies, you will find yourself no longer easily swayed by pressure or temptation. You will stand firm in every shaking. You will hold on to what I give, and you will build the legacy I have shaped for you from eternity. Now, my child, I want you to step out of the zone of barely surviving and step into the zone of living with stature. You are no longer reacting to whatever comes. You are entering the stage where you actively shape your life with me. This is a call to maturity, not maturity born of pressure, but maturity born of destiny growing bigger. You cannot carry my glory with an unsettled soul. You cannot step into the inheritance I designed with the habits of an old season. For old habits cannot support the weight of what is coming. I want to upgrade your vision so you no longer see yourself as someone looking for an escape, but as someone building a path. And you must know this maturity does not make you lose your softness. Maturity teaches you to keep your softness in the right place and use your strength at the right moment. Look at your life in the past seasons. You have learned to stand firm. You have learned to discern. You have learned to keep peace. But now I call you to learn one more thing: intentional building. Not just protecting yourself from doing wrong, but creating what is right. Not just avoiding temptation, but establishing new patterns. Not just breaking old cycles, but laying new foundations. You must not allow your life to be directed merely by circumstance or emotion. I want you to reorder your priorities, reorganize your time, renew your spirit, and establish inner disciplines, like someone preparing to carry glory, not someone struggling day by day. This is the sign of true maturity, not doing more, but living deeper and more directed. I see in your life small corners that need rebuilding. The way weariness pulls you away from prayer. The days you let social media fill the empty spaces of your mind. The conversations that do not nourish your soul, but drain your energy. These things seem small, but they shape your inner strength. If your heart is stretched thin by unnecessary things, you will not have enough room for what I give. This is the time for you to learn how to protect your inner space. Space to hear me. Space to breathe. Space to discern. One who matures in me does not let their soul become a place where anyone and anything enters freely. One who matures guards their mind like a gatekeeper at the gate of the king's city. I want you to begin looking at your future, not with the eyes of someone who merely wishes, but of someone who carries vision. Wishes create feelings. Vision creates direction. Wishes excite you. Vision sustains you. Wishes flare up and fade. Vision stands through all seasons. I am opening before you a wider horizon than you have ever imagined. Not a horizon of money or fame, but one of spiritual influence, inner maturity, and steadiness that turns your life into a signal for other souls. I want you to live as someone who will leave a mark for the next generation. Not just someone who gets through each day. Those who carry legacy do not live by the calendar of emotion. They live by the calendar of heaven. Observe the recurring patterns in your life. When are you weakest? When do you lose direction most easily? When are you most prone to compromise? When do you most often stop praying? These moments are the very gateways I want you to fortify. The mature do not win only in their strongest moments. They station guards at their weakest ones. I do not want you merely to react to temptation. I want you to prepare so temptation has no entry point. I do not want you simply waiting to be tested. I want you to build habits that trials cannot shake. This is not discipline that cages you. This is strategy that frees you. You are truly free only when small things no longer pull you away. I also want you to understand that maturity is not the absence of emotion. Maturity is the stewardship of emotion. You will still have days of fatigue, days of doubt, days of discouragement. But the maturity I am cultivating in you is the ability to refuse to let those days determine your direction. You may be tired, but you do not stop. You may be sad, but you do not give up. You may be pulled, but you do not drift from me. I am placing in you the ability to return to alignment faster than before. If it once took you a month to recover, now it will take days. If you once wandered in negative thoughts for a week, now it will take hours. If you once forgot prayer for a whole season, now only a few minutes before me will bring you back. Hear this clearly. Maturity in me is not merely a foundation for you. It is the ground upon which legacy is built. Your life influences far more people than you realize. A single word you speak can lift someone or weaken them. A single decision you make can open a door to life or open a door to exhaustion. I am establishing you so that the stream of influence flowing through you will be strong, clean, and bright. You are not living for yourself. You are living for those who will receive what I do through you. This is why I will not let you stand still anymore. This is why I am calling you into maturity, not so you will strain, but so you can carry the weight of light. And now, I want you to step out of every old image you hold about yourself. You are no longer the one simply trying to survive the day. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You are the one your Father is preparing to stand firm in shaking to pave the way for the souls behind you, to live with direction and to leave a mark. Your maturity will become the evidence of my glory. The new strength rising in you will become the living testimony that I never abandoned you, never forgot you, never stepped off your journey. From today forward, walk as one upgraded, think as one who carries legacy, live as one who bears light, and know that every step of maturity you choose draws you deeper into the plan I wrote for you before the foundations of time. There are things I want to say slowly because I know your soul sometimes does not need more words, but more warmth. I know you have heard many calls to change, many commands to be stronger, better, further. But in this part, I do not come to push you. I come to hold you before I lead you into any upgrade. Maturity does not begin with effort. Maturity begins with abiding. I see the times you blame yourself for not being focused enough, not stable enough, not strong enough to uphold every spiritual habit. But I want you to know I do not look at the times you fail. I look at the times you return. I do not count the days you are weak. I count the moments you open your heart for me to touch. I do not seek perfection. I seek your returning. And you have returned far more often than you realize. That is the foundation I can build upon. My child, I have seen the nights you lay awake, not because something dramatic happened, but because your mind was pulled by quiet currents of worry. What if tomorrow is not good? What if I fail again? What if I'm not enough? These what-ifs are like thin but stubborn cords, wrapping around your heart little by little. You think they are natural thoughts, but in truth, they are signals calling me in. When you lie in the dark staring at the ceiling, while your soul is loud with noise, I sit beside you, very near. You do not hear me, but I place my hand over your heart, keeping it from racing too fast. I soften the thoughts that drain you. I pull your breath back into rhythm. I do not always speak. Some nights I simply stay, you do not know it. But the nights when you feel the most worn down are often the nights I am working the deepest within you. There are mornings when you wake with emptiness, as though everything must start over again. You look at your life as a list of tasks waiting for you to carry, but you do not realize most of that weight does not come from the work itself, but from not yet learning to see the new day through the eyes of spiritual maturity. A mature person does not allow the day to control them. They steer the day through my presence within them. I want you to begin each morning not by plunging into your list, but with one deep, gentle breath and one simple question. Father, where do you lead me today? When you begin your day this way, the weight of the day no longer rests on your shoulders. It rests in my hands, and I will never allow a single day to crush your soul. In the ordinary rhythm of life, there are small but sacred moments you often overlook. The beam of light passing through your window in the morning, the sound of water coming to a boil, the quiet seconds when no one calls your name, the few breaths you take while looking at your own face in the mirror. These moments are not accidents. They are openings I create so your soul can breathe. Breathe correctly. Breathe deeply. Breathe in peace. I want you to learn how to recognize me in the most ordinary things, not only in prayer or worship. When you learn to see me in the small things, you will not lose yourself in the large ones. Alertness is not limited to the gathering. Alertness is the ability to see me woven into the smallest beats of your life. I know there are relationships that exhaust you because you keep holding on to things you should have released long ago. You fear being too cold if you let go. You fear being unkind. You fear abandoning someone. But my child, maturity does not mean keeping everyone close. Maturity means knowing who is allowed near your heart. I am not telling you to cut everyone off. I am telling you to choose who carries influence in the spiritual trajectory of your life. Some people should only walk beside you. Some should only touch your path briefly. Some you must love from a distance. And some I have placed to walk with you. When you learn this, you will no longer waste your spiritual energy on what is not worthy of it. In your work, I have seen you operate at times out of duty rather than out of life. You complete tasks without feeling your heart within them. Not because you are lazy, but because you have been working from effort instead of vision. I want you to see your work with spiritual sight, the sight that understands that each task can carry my imprint. When you work with my presence, your work becomes an environment to plant value, not merely a list of responsibilities. A mature person does not measure their worth by results, they measure by faithfulness. And I look at your faithfulness far more than you imagine. I also want to speak to you about the areas where you compromise easily. Not the big compromises. I am speaking of the very small ones. The moments when you allow yourself to skip prayer just for today. The moments when you watch a few extra videos, even though you know your heart is tired. The moments when you avoid a conversation I am prompting you to face. None of these things are evil, but they feed the old part of you. And even the smallest remnant of the old self can pull you off the course I set. You do not need to be perfect, you need to be sensitive. Sensitive enough to notice when you are drifting. Sensitive enough to recognize when you are living lower than what you were invited into. Sensitive enough to know when you must stop and return. There are days when I see you exhausted, not because you are weak, but because you are bracing yourself. Bracing so no one becomes disappointed in you. Bracing so no one sees how tired you truly are. Bracing to keep the image of being strong. But you do not realize this, the strength I want to build in you does not come from bracing, it comes from truth. The strong one is not the one who never gets tired. The strong one is the one who knows when to step into the Father's arms and rest. You do not have to stand against pressure alone. Pressure is not meant to crush you. Pressure is meant to press out the parts that no longer belong to your new season. I am here to hold you, to quiet the noise, to lift the burdens you were never meant to carry. Awakening is not only about avoiding what is wrong. Awakening is recognizing what is right when it begins to unfold. You will start to see small but genuine opportunities appear. Not overwhelming breakthroughs, but small things that carry my breath. A sudden idea while you are washing dishes, a strange peace when you think about the next step, a word someone casually speaks that perfectly matches what you prayed in silence. I do not guide you by noise. I guide you through small lights in your soul. The mature will see those small lights. The immature will overlook them. I am calling you to become the one who can spot tiny rays of light amid great darkness. And there are moments you fear losing your discipline, your focus, your flame. But listen to me, the stability of your soul does not come from willpower. It comes from rhythm. The rhythm of sleeping at the right time, the rhythm of keeping silence when needed, the rhythm of putting your phone aside so you can hear your own heart, the rhythm of saying, know when a good thing is not the right thing. When your rhythms are aligned, your soul will stabilize naturally. This is the most practical form of maturity I am teaching you. You do not need to explode. You need to endure. Endurance is the mark of those who belong deeply to me. And when you maintain that enduring rhythm, you will see the light in you no longer flicker with your emotions, but burn steady, quiet, and sure like a flame your Father tends with his own hands. I see that you have changed in ways you haven't yet noticed. Your heart is sturdier, your discernment sharper, your peace thicker. Your spirit is no longer easily bent by noise. You have grown, my child. I want you to see what I see. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, Watch God multiply what you let go of. You are no longer someone who walks unsteadily. You are no longer someone who gets pulled off course easily. You are becoming someone who can stand in shaking without losing clarity. Someone I can trust, someone I can assign, someone I can use to rebuild others. Your maturity is not only for you, it is for those who will lean on the light you carry. And now, I place my hand upon your heart and speak this. You are not getting lost. You are going deeper, deeper into my presence, deeper into your true nature, deeper into the calling I have ordained. I do not build your future on randomness. I build it through practical layers of growth, through breaths of awareness, through new ways of seeing that you are gaining day by day. This season is not merely for survival. It is the season for you to grow, to stand firm, and to become the one I have written from eternity. You are being lifted, opened, refined, and reset. And I will not leave you until every portion of glory I placed in you is awakened. Thank you for listening to this message. Know that you are not just a viewer. You are the one chosen to live in the presence of God's Word each day. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any divine message meant for you.